Okay, so in this video, we're going to go through how to use some jQuery mobile widgets. And as we go through this, you're going to realize they all work basically the same way. This part of the jQuery mobile website, demos and latest stable version, is where you go to figure out how to use jQuery mobile widgets. You can watch this video and get kind of an overview about how they work, but in terms of reference, this is not a good way of doing things. You need to go to the demos portion of the jQuery mobile website because it's got everything. So we're going to just keep on working on this Pick a Critter app that I've got going here. Here's the web view. Here's the code. You know the drill by now. Just a quick review. We've got our jQuery mobile page right here. This is the jQuery mobile page. It's got different parts. Here's the header. You can see there's homepage, homepage. It's got the content. That is all the stuff between the content is all the stuff that we see on the page. And then there's a whole bunch of other stuff underneath it. But as far as jQuery mobile is concerned, is that this is the world entire. Anyway, that's enough review. So a big part of mobile app interface is this concept of widgets, that we have lots of space-saving things and sort of universal design conventions. And once you learn how to identify what these things are, you're going to start seeing them all over the place in the apps that you use. So the first thing that we're going to learn is the list view. So a list view is basically going to turn an unordered list into something better. So this is how you would do it out in the wild. If you didn't have this video droning at you, then you would go to the demos, check out Listviews, list view widget. And so it will give you a basic idea of how it works. And then when you hit view source, it'll show you the HTML. Now this is so simple. Here's an unordered list. Hey, look, we have an unordered list. What's different? Data role equals list view. What do you know? Okay, well, let's just put that in. Save it. Check it out. What happened? That looks a lot better, doesn't it? So, it was this. Plain, boring, old, and now it's this, which is pretty sweet, huh? Already you can see that it looks better, and because these things are links, then it gives us these little widgets, these little icons on the side. So what else can we do with an unordered list? Read only, that just means that it's not linked. Inset, I really like this. The inset property makes it look like this. You can see over here that it stretches the entire width of the page. It looks like it's kind of like built into the page. Well, this gives it more of a kind of floating feel. So how do we go about doing that? All right, couldn't be simpler. We've got just an unordered list right here like normal. They've got our data role equals list view, just like ours, but then we see data-inset equals true. Well, let's just give that a try. There. That looks a little better, in my opinion. Anything else that we can do real quick? A filter that really doesn't apply to our simple stuff. List dividers, how do we do these? See how we got little list dividers right there. How do we do that? Okay, well, you add in an item, list dividers dash mail. Okay, so you just add in a list item and then give it the data role list divider. Well, that seems straightforward enough. So let's do that over here. I'll have this differently indented just for So it looks like that. Data-role equals list divider. Rodents. Okay, so if we did that right, then we should see dividers above each one of these things that don't actually link to anything. So let's see, did that work? It totally did. What do you know? So that's another way to add information and just basically make your lists more user-friendly. Say you had a very long list of items, like let's say that you had a long list of items, like say you were doing all the public universities in California. If you had them all in one list, then it might get confused. But if you added in a divider, then it would make a bit more sense. So that's just one possible use. You are innovative, you're smart, so you'll figure out new ones. Lists just keeps going on and on. It really does. And it's beyond the scope of this video to go through all of them. But as you can see, that we went through from just a normal bulleted list, and then we added data role equals list view, and it looked way better. And then we added data inset equals true, and it looked totally different. And then we added in these dividers. And in all three cases, really what it boiled down to was just going here to the documentation, looking at the source, and then copying what they did. That's how literally everything gets done when you're learning jQuery mobile. So lists can get very, they can actually get very cool, a bit more complicated. Like you can see these ones with thumbnails, and they have multiple lines within them. These are split buttons, really cool. And these ones have a lot of really, these are really cool formatting in my opinion. And you can make these. All you need to do is just start playing around with it. That's how everybody learns how to do everything with coding. You just go here to the documentation, you look at the source, and you play around with it until you understand what it does.